As a web scraper, I always wonder how HTTP GET requests work in Python. And after doing some research, I found that how we can implement and build our own HTTP GET request in Python without using any fancy library. And it's really interesting because I'm going to show you how you can set your custom headers. And it's all about socket programming and some networking skills because we're going to work with TCP IP, and I'm going to show how you can use and set IP version 4 and implement TCP protocol. So it's going to be really comprehensive and interesting for those who are interested in web scraping. So let's dive in. Okay, I've already created my GET request .py and I've imported socket. You don't need to install socket. You already have this library installed in your Python. And it is for networking and these things. I'm not good at networking and these stuff, but I know how to implement TCP IP protocol to build our GET request. Okay, so before starting, I need to show you what we need actually. Let me just use my interesting tool that I've downloaded. Okay, so it's our URL most of the time when we send request, for example, www or w dot, oh my god, google.com, for example, and for example, home or product. Okay, when we want to create from scratch, I mean, when we want to create our GET request from scratch, we need some important things. For example, the scheme. I mean, if it's HTTP, we need to set AD port for HTTP. And if it's HTTPS, we need to use 443 for this scheme. So we need to detect these parts. Also, when it's HTTPS, we need to build the secure layer using SSL because you know that HTTPS is for security and these things. I'm not familiar actually, but by the way, we need this part, which is host or domain, and also this part. It's home or it's a product, for example, and it is called path in request and HTTP. So we need to detect these information before sending our request to the server. So we need to calculate it. We cannot, we can use some split function in Python to separate, for example, by these and by slash or these things, but I'm going to use a URL lib to find scheme and also the host or domain and also the path. Okay, so let me just okay, so I'm going to first from URL lib dot parse import URL parse, because we need to parse a URL and find those important parts. Okay, so it's going to be our HTTP GET request, which takes a URL, for example, and let me just say that it is going to be our URL www.google.com, for example, and so it doesn't have product or home, but I'm going to use more URLs. I'm going to use HTTP bean or something like that, HTTP bean or something like that, and it's about sending requests, and it gives us the headers, the request, the body, and everything that we need for this educational video. Okay, but I'm going to use google.com because it's going to be a real world project. So okay, And in our HTTP GET function, we need to use we need to say that our parse URL is equal to, I'm going to use this library url.parse, and it takes the URL if I'm not mistaken. And now we are able to say that our host is equal to parsed URL.netlog, if I'm not, yeah, netlog. So it gives us the host, no matter it's google.com, it's yahoo.com, it's Walmart, it's YouTube, everything, okay? And I'm just going to I just aim to dynamic our code. So it's our host, so we need the path, and I'm going to say that parse URL.path if we have something like home, okay? For example, if we have home, and it gives us this part, because we need this information, as I said before, when we want to connect to the server. We are building our own HTTP GET request. So by the way, so Google doesn't have home and product or maybe admin page. So I'm going to say that parse URL.path if we have something like that. Otherwise, I'm going to say that our path is just a slash, okay? Because, for example, in this scenario, we don't have any path, okay? So also we need the host. Oh, no, we have the host. Okay, we need a scheme is equal to parse URL the scheme. It gives us, is it HTTP or HTTPS? Parse the URL. Okay, parse URL. Okay, that scheme. And also we need the port. When we want to connect to the server, we need the host and the port. And as I said, our port equals to 443 if our scheme is equal to HTTPS. If it's not, I mean, if it's HTTP, I'm going to say that our port is 80, okay? I hope you understand what I'm talking about. So yeah, 443 for HTTPS and 80 for HTTP, okay? So let me just show you how this function works. Maybe you get confused. So I'm just going to use this function host path and also print scheme and the port. Okay, so let me just make it a little bit beautiful. Okay, what should I do? Okay. And I'm going to say that it's our host and it's our scheme and it's going to be our port. Okay, so let's just say that it is our URL, and I'm going to just take the necessary parts, okay, for creating our HTTP GET request, and it just take the URL. Okay, I just confused, I don't know what. So okay, sounds okay, so far so good. Okay. So I'm in the project directory, so I'm going to say that Python get request.py. Okay, I'll see. So it's going to be our host and it's going to be our path. So because there is no path here for this example, and our scheme, which is HTTPS, so our port is going to be 443 as we implemented here. For example, when we use something like product, okay, it gives us this path. Okay, so now you understand what I'm talking about, I hope actually. So we don't need this print, and now it's time to create our TCP IP, which is for communication. I'm not mistaken, create TCP IP, and I'm going to say that with socket socket.socket, I'm going to say that I'm going to use IP version 4 for this maybe communication maybe. And you need to say that sook init, something like that, if I'm not mistaken. Sook AF. Sook, let me. Socket.a. Where's A? AFINET. It stands for IP version 4 in socket. And I'm going to say that I want to use TCP protocol. And you need to say that socket stream, yeah, and it stands for it is for TCP protocol, and it's for IP version 4, and I'm going to use it as sook. Okay, so here we have our TCP IP. It's a important layer in OSI and application layer. That was really interesting stuff. And now we can we are going to say that we have two schemes for our request. If our scheme is HTTP, we're going to say that we want to connect to the server and do something. And if it's if our scheme is equal to HTTPS, okay, let me check my sound. Okay. And if it's HTTPS, as you know, we need to use SSL for security. It's SSL stands for as I've already imported here, SSL socket, no, secure socket layer, if I'm not mistaken. And we need to encrypt the communication between our requests, to the server. And we are going to use a different way. We need to create a default context and encrypt the communication. Then we can connect to the server and request. Okay, so it's just a bit different. That's why I divided our code in TCP IP into two. So, and they are mostly the same. And I'm going to show you how you can work. And first of all, we're going to say that we want to connect to the server, okay? And you need to say that sook.connect, and it says that what host and port you want to connect to, okay? And it's our host and port that we just calculated from this interesting library. And we just try to connect to that host and port. What about HTTPS? It's a bit different. You need to first create your context, as I said. And I'm going to say that context is SSL. I said something like create default context. Yeah. Create default context. And then we can say that with, I think it's okay. Yeah. With context that wraps something like that. Wrap socket. We need to specify our TCP IP, which is our sook, and then we need to specify our host, okay? The server host here, which is the host that we calculated here, and that's it, as S, okay? Now, from now on, everything is similar with this scheme, with HTTP actually. And I'm just going to say that s.connect once again, because we want to connect to the server, with that host and port. And that's it. I think we're done. And we can now implement our request. Okay, it's time to say that what we want from that server. We want GET request, we want POST request. What are our headers? What information we need to send to the server and what we want from the server, okay? And I'm going to use fstring in Python for this one. First thing, the most important thing that you need to use is the method that you want to use, which is the get. Okay, get, that was different. And then you need to put a space and specify the path that you want to send get request to. Okay, which just I mean, we calculated here. If it's a product, I mean a slash product, a slash home, and if there is no path, just the main directory. Okay, and then you need to put a space here and say that what HTTP version we are going to use in this request, which is HTTP 1.1. It's the most common HTTP version that host and client use, and it's really common, as I've researched. Okay, I'm new to these networking things. I was just interested, and I found that it's really cool to implement from scratch. Okay, so if I'm saying something wrong, don't take me wrong. Actually, I'm like you. So so yeah, HTTP version. Then I think we are done. Okay, and it's let me just use my interesting tool, and it's our request line. I mean, in networking field, they call this part as request line, and from now on, we are able to use our headers. Okay, what headers we want to send, and then if it's a post request, you can put your body here if you have any information, for example, name, email, and something like that. If it's a post request, you know that you want to send something to the server, and you put your post request data here. Okay, but it's just a get request, and if you're interested in post request, you just can I mean, let me know in comment below. Just let me clear and Control Shift 2. Okay, yeah, just let me know, and I've created a new interesting video about creating post requests from scratch. Okay, so if you're interested, let me know. And now we need to separate the request line from the headers using this weird separator HTTP understands. I don't actually, it's a new line, I think. And then we need to immediately say the host. It's the most important headers, which is the host that we calculated. And then we need to, from now on, we need to separate our headers by this separator. Yeah, it's really weird. Okay, so I'm not going to use default header now, but I'm going to show you how you can use your default headers, like user agent, like for example content type and other things. But I just want to keep it simple first, then I will show you. And so it's the most important header. Then you need to say that I think connection close. Okay, because otherwise server waits for our request and your terminal get freeze. Okay, so be careful about this connection.close. You need to use for this educational scenario. If you want to do something weird and difficult and professional, maybe you don't need to use this part, but for me, for this project, we need. Okay, and another important thing is that when you are done with your request, when you have no headers, when you have nobody or anything here, you need to say that actually I'm done. Okay, by using this weird command twice. Okay, if you use this at the end of your request, server understands that we do not have any, I mean, we do not need more requests. Okay, and he understands that we are done. And the good news is that it's similar for HTTPS. We just securing and encrypting our communication. And yeah, we are done actually. We implemented our request. Now it's time to send our request. Yeah, it's just a simple string. And we can say that sook that send all. And we need to put our request here, but we need to encode our request. Okay, I think from the point that I understood, it just removes these lines, I think, I don't know what it does actually, but you need to encode your request. And yeah, I think it doesn't remove these lines, because if it removes these lines, it's not gonna work. Okay, but you need to encode your request. Okay, keep it as a, they call it as a black box, or say keep it as a black box. Okay, out here, but you need to encode this weird string. Okay, and let me do the same for s.sendall for HTTPS, and you need to also say that request.encode. Oh, guys, I just confused for this line. Let me for example say I'm really curious about this. What in the, let me show you, but we don't have the host. Okay, it's our request. Let me just remove. Okay, let me just say that request.encode and see what happens. Oh, it just use, I think, this byte. Yeah, because server understands and gives us information in byte format. Yeah, I think that's why we need to encode the information. Okay, so yeah, and so now you know why we need to use this encode. Okay, because we need to convert this request to byte format, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure, as I said before, I'm not familiar with networking and these things. Okay, we just sent our request, and I think we're done. We need to and it's time to receive the data from the server, and we're going to say that our response is an empty byte, and I'm going to say that it's a continuous, I mean infinite loop, while loop, when you use 1 or true. And I'm going to say that yeah, I think it's time to specify our buffer and say that data is equal to s, not s actually, sook that s for HTTPS, sook that receive, something like this. And you need to specify a buffer, which I found many people use 4096, and it just, each time in this loop it takes this amount of data from the server that we just requested, I mean the data. Then I'm going to say that if not data, you need to break this loop. Otherwise, I mean, if we have the data, you need to say that response plus equals to data. Okay, I think, yeah, I think it's okay. Response plus equals to data, and it adds data to the response. Okay, till it ends. And the good news is that it's the same for here for HTTPS. Just let me, yeah, we just need a tab. The only difference that we have here between HTTP and HTTPS is a tab. Okay, and also, oh my god, we don't need to use this here. For example, I need to say that s dot receive. Let me check. I use copy and paste many times, and everything sounds okay. Only God knows. Okay. I think we're done. I think we are really done, and now we have the data. We just need to print the response here, and we can say that headers, I mean headers body, headers data, and body is equal to response, but we need to split the response by this separator, because when you send the request to the server gives the body, I mean the requested data in this format. For example, the first one is I mean the server separates the data by headers and body, and it separates the data by this separator. So that's why I'm going to say that response.split, and you need to use exactly this one here, and it's a byte, so that's why I'm going to use this, and you need to only split it only one time. Okay, maximum split should be 1. And we have the headers. Let me use my interesting tool once again. I really like this one. Yeah, so when we send a request to the server, for example, it's a server, and it's me, Codemate TV, Amir. When it sends request to the server, server gives us information by response headers. So I say RH for response headers, and it separates it by this. Okay. Oh, I'm really good at writing and handwriting. And then it's our response headers that we take from the server, and also it's the body. For example, it's exactly that HTML, I mean that interesting HTML that we have the data and we can scrape the data. And okay, so you know what I'm talking about. So it's our body. Okay. So let's first remove Ctrl+Shift+7, Ctrl+Shift+2, and yeah, let's return the data and complete our function. Okay, and I'm going to say that header data, once again we need to decode. Okay, we encoded our data here, and now we need to decode our data. I think it removes the bytes and some weird things here. And body dot decode. So so far so good. Let's check our HTTP function. Can say that our headers and body is equal to, I mean, we need to put this function here, and I'm going to say that response headers and is equal to headers, and I'm going to say that our body, but we need to separate it by new line. Our body is if you are interested in my video, don't forget to hit the like button right now, and it really helps me to create more content. Okay, HTTP get headers, body, no, everything is okay. Oh, I think I'm going to receive some errors, but oh, type object socket has no attribute AFINET. I think I need to use socket.socket. AFINET. Why it's happening? Actually, socket has this. Oh, I don't have to use socket twice, and it's in the socket actually. Okay, I was correct for this one, for TCP, but oh, thanks. Oh, interesting. it is our body. I mean, when you say that, when you import request, like requests, I think, and you say that, hey, request that get, and when you put this URL, this happens. Okay, now we just wrote it from scratch. It's the body, I mean, it's the text or content. And let me just remove it, and let's check out the headers. Okay, here is the headers that we received from google.com. Okay, good, huh? And it's our request line, and these are the headers that have this not 2 colon, something like this. Okay, not semicolon. And yeah, set cookie, XSS protection, and connection close, and yeah, these things. Now let me show you how you can use your custom headers. Just we don't have enough time, I have to be really fast, and I'm going to say that we have some custom headers, I mean default headers, and default headers is equal to this. It has user agent, the most important one, okay, if you are a web scraper. User agent, and for example, our user agent is something like Chrome version 200. I think the last version is, final version is 126, I think. Chrome 200, and also we have Mozilla version, I don't know, 900 maybe. And let me just use my channel name, Codemate TV. It's part of user agent, it's a new browser, Google understands, okay. Okay, it's enough. And also let me use content type. It is also common, and you can use I mean you can send accept and encoding and these language, okay. I'm just going to show you. It's for example application JSON, okay. How we can put these headers here? It's simple, okay. Before, because I was saying that here we have the headers, okay, but first the most important one is the host, and the last one is connection close, and you can simply put your custom headers between these two headers, okay. Let's see. I'm going to say that we have the headers and it should be, I think, separate by those weird separator, but I mean we need to separate our headers by this weird separator, okay. So when I just say oh, not default headers, when I just say our default headers is this, it's not, it doesn't have these, okay, these things, and I need to add, okay. It's really hard to explain in English. It's going to be better. So I'm going to say headers, and I need to use some join function here, because I need to put a join. I mean, we need to say that I want you to put -r-n dot join, okay, and because we need this separator, okay. I hope you understand. And I'm going to say that we have a loop here, and it's f string which has the key and value from that default headers, key and value. And also I need to put this here and the key and value, and it's a for loop, so I need to say that for key, for, not like this, oh, not here, wait, oh, okay, for key and value, oh my god, I'm actually dying. For key and value, it's a bit confusing. For key and value, yeah, it's okay. In default headers dot, it's a dictionary, it's items. For default headers in item, okay, guys. So I think it's okay. Yeah, wait. For key and value in default headers of items, you need to say that it's our key, it is our value, and you need to join the separator at the end of this string. Okay, let's just check. Let's check. And let me just check if we don't have any error. Okay, it doesn't have any syntax errors. And let me show you that it is okay. And I just need to use http bin. I think it is called http bin.org and get, if you want to use get request. And it gives us success as a body and also the headers. HOSOT is not defined. Why it's happened? Oh my god, I thought, yeah, because Google was HTTPS. Okay, oh my god, thanks God. Look at our user agent here. Mozilla, Codemate TV, Amir, and this Amazon Trace ID is created by the server itself automatically. And also we have our content type and our user agent, so you can add as many headers as you want. For example, no, not name, for example, I don't know, maybe accept. Okay, for example, accept is I think it was something like this, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, let's rerun the code. Look, we have the accept here. Okay, and yeah, that's it. So if you're interested in post request, I mean, there are more challenging and interesting things in this HTTP GET request from scratch. For example, redirects. Sometimes we have redirects. And also we can implement post requests. So I don't know that you are interested in these ideas and in these concepts. So if you are, just let me know in comment below, and I will create content about everything that you want. Okay, so I know all these things and I'm just creating these things only for you. So if you need anything, just let me know in comment below and I will create content about posts and redirects, and we can upgrade and improve this script way more than this simple GET request. So actually we are done, and if you learned something from me from this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe my channel. And as I said before, it really helps me and motivates me to create more content for you, and I really need that one. Okay, so, and I hope to see you in the next video.